Welcome to Table Talk, Talks, Togetherness, and Transparency. Today we have Mr. Darrell Jameson, our Director for our Academy for Careers and Technology. Mr. Jameson, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Dr. Bethea.
Good morning. As you can tell, today I'm actually at a superintendent's meeting, but I did not want to get off schedule with our Table Talk. So Mr. Jameson, thank you for joining me, even though I'm at a remote location this morning. I appreciate you agreeing to give an update from the Academy. And so, Mr. Jameson, I'll let you have the floor from here.
Well, Dr. Bethea, by doing the Table Talk remotely, this just proves that preparing students for a global society is a real thing.
Absolutely.
We do that here at the Academy, and then seeing you, I think you're in Columbia this morning.
I am.
And I'm in Mullins, and so here we sit talking to each other from halfway across the state. So a perfect example of this global society that we live in and trying to reach out. So this morning, I just want to briefly talk about our programs, where we are with opening of school, and some of the highlights from last year, if we've got time for that. So you keep me on time, Dr. Bethea, and we'll move forward.
Okay.
Real quick, because I know everybody's interested in opening school and where we are 2020 and 2021 school year. The Academy for Careers and Technology is going to be open in the same way as all the other schools in the district. A lot of times people get confused. We're not any different than Mullins High School or Marion High School. So our students will be working remotely for the first 10 days, 15 days until the numbers change and we start bringing students back into the buildings. And then everybody will start phasing back into face-to-face learning. We created a 10-day packet for people to come and pick up, and then we're going to have a second packet for later if we have to. And then once everybody gets devices, we'll do some remote learning through Teams, Schoology, and then all of our programs have an online curriculum that they will feature as well. I think we've got a pretty good plan in place to bring students back and get them started. We're just going to follow the days. If Marion High students are back at Marion, then they'll come to the ACT if they have ACT courses on their schedule. Also, students who are virtual learners, they're going to be at home all year, who have an ACT class, are also going to be coming to face-to-face instruction here at the ACT. And I've talked to many parents, and if there's any parents out there that watch this video have questions, tell them to please call the school, and we will answer them to the best of our ability. So that's kind of our opening of school plan. It's not really any different than the two high schools. We'll be following the Safe Schools protocol, social distancing, wearing masks in class, sitting 6 feet apart. We'll be doing all of those things here at the ACT. So sometimes we don't get talked about as much, but we are following the same protocols as all the other schools in the district. So you can feel safe about that, Dr. Bethea, that if you come over here with me, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Thank you.
I guess a real quick way to talk about our programs is to share a brochure that we produced about a year and a half ago. And if you allow, I'm going to share a screen, Dr. Bethea.
Absolutely.
Everybody can see this brochure. Here we go. Let's see if I can you see this brochure here? It's a trifold. And so we've got these at our front office and the guidance offices at Marion High School and Mullins High School. So you can see that the front of it has Academy for Careers and Technology. Then the middle pane has all of our contact information and then enrollment information. I'm not going to spend any time in enrollment information. I want to spend some time looking at our programs. And so the inside of the brochure has our programs. We have 2 automotive programs, collision repair and technology. We have drafting and design. We have culinary arts management. We have cosmetology, entertainment technology, mechatronics, sports medicine, nail tech, and then practical nursing. So these are all the different programs that we offer. Each program is a 2-year program except for nail tech and for practical nursing. And I'll talk about nail tech and practical nursing in a moment. So we recruit students by going into their individual graduation plan. So beginning in 8th grade, all students have to do an IGP. Parents have to come in and do a conference with their guidance counselors. So everybody that's watching this has, if you're an 8th grade through 12th grader, you've done multiple IGPs. Recruit through the IGP process. We go into the IGP, and if a student has indicated to their guidance counselor that they're interested in any career path that crosses with our programs, then we make sure that they know about our program and that they are invited to enroll into our program. Have necessarily any prerequisites. You do have to be a 2nd-year student in high school, so beginning in 10th grade, and then you have 2 years to complete. So you can begin 10th and complete in 11th, or you can begin in 11th and complete in 12th. We also had some 10th graders skip a year and come back to 12th grade. So what their personal plans are, we try to accommodate. Is there anything that you think that I should focus on in programs?
No. Will you tell us, of course, as the workforce needs change, Mr. Jameson, you're constantly evaluating your programs, the need for programs, any changes. Can you talk a little bit about that and talk a little bit about the committee that you just served on that did the needs assessment for the region, the PD region as well?
So I'll point out 3 programs: computer-aided drafting and design, mechatronics, and sports medicine are new to the ACT within the last 4 years. And reason that they're new within the last 4 years is we used local employment and industry data to determine that these programs were needed to get students into the local workforce. Mechatronics in particular, that's a weird sounding word for a lot of people. Mechanical and electrical engineering along with electronics. You take mechanical and electronics and mash it together, you get mechatronics. So a cute little word for that. But as you can read there, it's not just mechanical and electrical engineering, but there's also high-tech computer integrated automated systems, including robotics as part of that program. So if anybody's interested in any of that level of mathematics and engineering, then mechatronics is a program for them to get some certifications in place and then move into manufacturing, the manufacturing industry. That in Marion and in Mullins, we've got a couple of manufacturing plants that are always looking for mechatronics type students to run their equipment.
Absolutely.
One example of how we use local data to determine our programs. The other thing is the state of South Carolina decided, well, I won't say decided, the federal government decided that the state would have to do a comprehensive local needs assessment. So the 6 counties in the PD got together beginning October 1st in 2019, and we started about a 4-month process of doing a needs assessment for career and technical education. We looked at all of our programs that were offered in the PD. Then we partnered with Florence Darlington Tech, Francis Marion, and Northeastern Tech to make sure that our pathways in the PD were matching what post-secondary was offering as well. The thing is, we found that we were offering programs at the Marion County Career Center in the ACT that match that career, that needs assessment. In other words, I'm not offering something that's so far out of bounds, it's not on the continuum.
Absolutely.
Very pleased with that. And we've got some great regional resources in our career development facilitator and our regional workforce advisor through the Department of Commerce that work with us on a weekly basis almost to make sure that we're providing up-to-date information to students and our teachers these programs up and running. Been a little busy over the last year doing the needs assessment. And as you know, Dr. Bethea, I also serve on the PD Regional Workforce Development Board. If people watching this have seen the SC Work Centers, sometimes they're referred to as the unemployment office, but that's kind of not a nice way to say that. It's you can go to look for a job at the SC Works offices. We've partnered with them as well to make sure that our students know what jobs are available right out of high school. So if you're choosing to go straight to work, you've got a lot of options, especially in the PD. You don't have to look just in Marion County. You can look in Florence County, you can look in Flint County, and you can look in Horry County. So SC Works offices partner with us, and the Workforce Development Board for the region, the PD region that I serve on, we kind of manage, and we're kind of the board for the SC Works office. We meet once a quarter and review all of their progress, helping folks who are dislocated workers, who are unemployed, all of those things, and youth that have dropped out of school. We have a focus on that group as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. And Mr. Jameson, just so as we look ahead, as we move to a more of a hybrid model of having more face-to-face time, hopefully in the near future, hopefully because COVID cases are starting to go down, I would hope eventually, that is not the case right now. But during that time, there will be a need for even some of those virtual learners to be on campus for some of those hands-on, especially for those certification areas. Is that correct? That
is correct, Dr. Bethea. And you know, the reasons that that's important, you know, I have a little funny saying I say sometimes to people who are talking about virtual learners. In career and technical education, you can only cut so much virtual hair. You can only change so many virtual tires. So part of the certification process and the learning process is getting your hands on tools, whether it's the clippers in cosmetology or the wrench in automotive or the actual wires in mechatronics or the pots and pans in culinary arts. You know, if you don't put your hands on it, you're not going to be able to manipulate it and do it. So yes, when the pandemic starts and we can start bringing students on campus face to face, everybody that has an ACT course on their schedule will need to be in attendance. And the good thing is getting a competitive advantage through their career path because we do have certifications in each of our programs. We issued for 321 certifications last year. Even through the pandemic, you know, we closed in March and we had several students. We had 4 students get their cosmetology license. We had students finishing up with OSHA 10-hour general safety. Several students get their Red Cross basic life-saving and CPR certifications. So we worked through the pandemic and still had school, and we will continue to do that even as the new school year starts.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Jameson, and I hope this information has been very helpful to our stakeholders. I do want to remind our families of a few dates. First day of school, September the 8th, we will be starting virtually or remotely. So on September the 8th, that is next Tuesday, we will not have students physically in buildings. You should have already had contact from someone at your school. If you have not, you still have questions, please reach out to your principals as well. Also, I want to acknowledge that the next 2 Wednesdays in the month of September, starting with September the 16th, we will have something called workshop. That will be a time where we can bring in students for small group intervention support. And then to end the month, the last full week of the month, September the 21st through the 24th, we will have our second LEAP week. Parents, I want to thank you for a successful LEAP week last week. Things went extremely smooth. Our students, as well as our staff members, were just excited to see each other, but still adhering to those safety protocols. And so again, we look forward to doing LEAP again at the end of the month if the data supports it and will allow. So with that being stated, Mr. Jameson, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all that goes on at ACT from the economic development standpoint, as well as from the workforce standpoint. Again, Table Talk, talks, togetherness, and transparency. Thank you again.